What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about this here. Thank you all for being here. I do want to look at the short-term stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on this video because I've actually got to leave my house here pretty soon. I'm helping out my father with some stuff. 0044 is the price. We're at, we got about 10 hours left in this day. Dropping down 5% on the day. This is one of the more aggressive drops that we've seen in recent times, but overall we've definitely dropped a lot more than 5%. We are at lower lows here relative to the lows that we've established since February. We still have higher lows relative to the low that we established in April, or I'm sorry, in January. However, it is looking like we might go lower. With Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with the rest of the market looking as sickly as it is, from here, we were at a high point. The rest of the market crashed. We crashed with it, but we were at a high point, so we maintained those higher lows. Here, we're not at a high point. The market's crashing. We crash with it. We are likely going to see a lower low. So I think it's appropriate to say that we should brace for impact. We probably should brace for impact. If we take this from a low point here to a high point here, your 382 area, you're below your 0.5. You found resistance. You keep going lower. And I've been taking this low to high here because this is relative to this move. We are finding support at the golden ratio, but we're encroaching this area. I think we're going to go lower. If we take the overall all-time low to this high, that's also a significant fib. We very well could drop down to this golden ratio zone, which is at 0034 to 0026. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we went. There's significant support here on a weekly closing basis, significant support here on a weekly closing basis, along with the wicks and all that stuff there. All the volume came in from back there. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if that was our next destination. And at this point, it's pretty obvious to say. Even with that, I'm not selling. I don't plan on selling at all. We could go lower. We could even go lower than that. OnyxCoin overall, you guys, is maintaining a higher low kind of dynamic. We do have this higher low trend. And if we drop down that level to those lows, even if we drop down to 0026, we're still maintaining that. Knowing how bear markets work, knowing how capitulation works, we probably go just below this line, and that very well could be the end of our bear market for OnyxCoin. As time goes on, we'll start to recover. But we've got a lot. If what I'm saying here comes to fruition, if we do go below these lows, that means that we've spent the last 6 months instead of accumulating, just in a staging area to go lower. That's all it was. Which means that when we find our lows, that's great. We found our lows, cool. We're going to have to stage again. We're going to have to accumulate again before we start to really build. I mean, think about it here. Whenever I say stage, when I say accumulate, this is what I mean, right? This was, from this area, from May 2023 until really November of 2024, a year and a half later, that's whenever you started to move up. It took you about a year and a half of accumulation before you actually saw anything really significant worth talking about. I guess this was pretty significant here, to be completely fair, but that was crazy. It could be the same here. We could see some accumulation taking place below this level. People give up on it, and that's typically that capitulation, that time-based capitulation is what we look for. You get the price-based capitulation, still holding higher lows is what we're looking for overall, but then time-based. I would assume that it will be sometime in 2027 before we see any kind of dramatic upside from here. Do with what you will with that information. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but my expectations are that we will go lower at this point. It's time to call a spade, unfortunately. We've been holding to these lows for quite a while, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope, now that I've said it, I hope that we just pump up to 2 cents right here, but it's hard to be bullish in this environment. Everybody wants to believe their coin is special. I believe OnyxCoin is special, but I don't think it's so special that it'll pump in the face of death and destruction with Bitcoin and Ethereum. There might be a chance. There may be a chance with all this accumulation here, with all this time, that we do recover. You get some type of double bottom, you get some type of capitulation here, and we do move up. As long as we're holding this area, I mean, we could even see technical lower lows, we could, but as long as we're in this area, it is still possible that we could see something phenomenal happen here in the coming weeks, let alone the coming months. But we'd have to do it. We'd have to do it pretty soon, and I'm skeptical of that. I should say, it's not that we'd have to do it soon, really. We would just have to not drop a tremendous amount. We'd have to not go below. What price would we have to not go below? We probably don't want weekly closes below 0039. We start getting weekly closes below 0039, then it might be over. and I say over, I just mean over for the idea that we're going to 2 cents anytime soon. We will be on the party train to the downside. And I will be accumulating, I will be holding, I will be staking all the way through. I don't plan on selling anytime soon. Again, my selling price is going to be at $1 when that happens. Chart like this overall, higher lows, higher highs, outperform most coins in the last bull market, outperforming most coins even still in the bear market. Yes, you've dropped more, but from your bear market low to where you are now, you're up tremendously more than the average altcoin is, and that's not anything to overlook there. Okay, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Prepare for the worst, brace for impact. It's coming. Bye bye.